Hello students, so welcome to AIMS India's online class session. Today from physics subject, motion and time topic we are going to continue. So in our previous video, we have learnt about uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Let's continue the topic in this video. So here, observe the time and distance values in the following table. So by observing the following table, the table is showing distances traveled by two different cars for different instances of time. Means the journey of car A and the journey of car B is given in the table. So here in how much time, how much distance they have traveled. In how much time, how much distance traveled by car A given in first table. In how much time, how much distance is traveled by car B is given in second table. So by observing the time and distance, we have to tell whether they are in uniform motion or non-uniform motion. So here at 0 seconds, the distance traveled by car A is 0 meter. After 10 seconds, 150 meter. After 20 seconds, 300 meter. After 30 seconds, 450 meter. After 40 seconds, 600 meter. This is the journey pattern of car A. But whenever we have to tell about uniform motion or non-uniform motion, we have to consider time interval. We have to consider time interval. Means starting time, ending time, between. The difference is called time interval. So from 0 to 10 seconds, what is the time interval? 10 seconds. Time interval is 10 seconds. In the 10 seconds time interval, how much distance they have traveled? Car A travel 0 to 150. What is the difference? 150 meter is the difference. So means if we consider the starting time and ending time of first two instances, so what we can conclude? In 10 seconds time, car A has traveled 150 meter. Like that we can tell. Again, from 10 to 20 seconds. From 10 to 20 seconds, what is the time interval? 10 seconds. What is the distance travel? 150 to 300 meter. Again, what is the difference? 150 meter. Again, from 20 to 30, what is the time interval? 10. 300 to 450, what is the time interval? Sorry, distance gap 150 meter. Next, 30 to 40, time interval 10. 450 to 600. Distance gap 150. So, what we can conclude here? The car A throughout its journey from 0 seconds to 40 seconds, for every 10 seconds of time interval, it is covering a constant distance of 150 meter. Means if the time interval is constant, then the distance traveled by car A is also constant. So by this we can tell the car A is covering equal distances in equal intervals of time. Equal distances in equal intervals of time. First 10 seconds, next 10 seconds, next 10 seconds, next 10. For all 10 seconds, it is covering 150 meter distance. So car A is in uniform motion. Car A is in uniform motion. How can we tell it is in uniform motion? Because for equal intervals of time, as it is covering equal distances, we can tell that it is exhibiting uniform motion. Uniform motion. So whereas if you take the example of car B from 0 to 10 seconds time interval, 0 to 50 meter, 50 meter distance it has covered. Again, 10 to 20, 10 seconds time interval, 50 to 40, 90, 40 meters only it has covered. Next 20 to 30, 10 seconds of time. 90 to 180, how much? 90 meter distance car B has covered. 30 to 40, 10 seconds. 180 to 230, 50 meter distance it has covered. So by this table, so what we can tell? For equal intervals of time, the distances covered are not equal. In one case it is 50, in another it is 40, another 90, another 50. Means for same intervals of time, distances covered by car B are not equal. So by this table, what we can conclude? Car B is showing non-uniform motion. Non-uniform motion means in equal distance of time covering unequal distances. That is example of non-uniform motion. So next, here if you get questions like this, which car has traveled equal distances in equal intervals of time? So we can tell car A. Which car has traveled unequal distances in equal intervals of time? We can tell car B. Why? Means we have noticed that car A, the change in position for every 10 seconds is 150 meter. But for car B, for same 10 seconds, the change in position is not constant. For first 10 seconds it is 50 meter. Next 10 seconds it is 40 meter. In the third case it is 90 meter. Fourth case it is 50 meter. So car A is exhibiting uniform motion. Car B is exhibiting non-uniform motion. That we can conclude. So next. So how can we define uniform motion? So by the above table, in what way we can define uniform motion means? In simple way. So if a body covers equal distances in equal intervals of time. These two words are very, very important, children. Equal distances in equal intervals of time. It is said to be in uniform motion. Said to be in uniform motion. So now, while defining non-uniform motion, what change we will make here? If a body covers unequal distances, instead of equal distances, we will mention here unequal distances in equal intervals of time, whereas time interval will be the same, only distance will change. If a body covers unequal distances in equal intervals of time, it is said to be in non-uniform motion. Okay, in that way we can define uniform motion and non-uniform motion. Next, so identifying uniform and non-uniform motion. So they have given some questions here. We have to identify them. If it is uniform, we have to mention in the brackets symbol U. If it is non-uniform, we have to mention NU. So motion of hands of a clock. If you take seconds hand, minutes hand, hours hand, they all will show, or they all will move in regular manner. For every 1 second, the second hand will move distance of 1 second only. In the same way, the angle covered by the second's hand will be same for every 1 second. In the same way, minute hand, hours hand. So they are in uniform motion. So a boy cycling in a crowded place. A boy is moving on cycle in a crowded place. If any person comes to his way, on his way, he will make a turn. His speed will change. If there is nobody, he will move fast. His speed will change. So it is non-uniform motion. Movement of housefly. You might have observed the movement of houseflies. They move in random directions. They move in all random directions. Their movement also non-uniform. So the fan in air cooler running at fixed speed. For your air cooler, you can change the speed 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. You can change the speed, but as long as in one particular speed, fixed speed, its movement will be constant. So it's uniform motion. A train entering into a railway station. Before coming to railway station, it will be moving fast. But while coming to railway station, it will slow down. At the railway station, it will stop. So you can observe changes in the distances covered by the train. So it's a non-uniform motion. So flying of kite in air, it is also non-uniform because it depends on wind. If the wind flows in one direction, kite is also going in that direction, it will move fast for the same time. Or if it is we are flying it opposite to wind, it will move slow. So in this way, we can identify the motions into uniform and non-uniform. So next, so types of motion. So types of motion. So when we discuss about motion, so it is important to be aware that there exist different types of motion. So if we simply tell motion, it is not applicable to all kinds of motions because there exist different types of motions, and each type is dependent on particular situation. So whenever we are mentioning about motion, we have to mention type of motion also. Then only we can understand the situation better and we can give the answers easily. So if all kinds of motion, if we treat the same, so we cannot get the answers. So let us consider the following examples. So a car traveling along a straight road. Here the car is traveling along a straight road. It is moving forward. So motion of blades in a ceiling fan. In a ceiling fan, the blades, they are moving around. They are moving around. It is going straight in one direction, but it is moving around. Direction is changing continuously. So motion of needle in a running sewing machine. In the machine, what you will observe? Needle will go down, needle will come up. Needle will go down, needle will come up. That up and down motion you can observe. So motion of pendulum of a old wall clock. In wall clock, the pendulum, how it will oscillate or how it will move? It will move this side, come back. It will move that side. It will move this side, come back that side. This is called to and fro motion. To and fro. To and fro motion. So here in 4 different examples, we are observing 4 different kinds of motion. 4 different kinds of motion. Okay. So the motions in above examples are different in terms of direction of motion. So car is moving same direction along a straight line. So in the case of car, the direction is constant. Whereas blades of ceiling fan, they are rotating around a fixed line in a circular path. They are moving around. They are rotating in a circular path continuously in one direction. So needle of sewing machine moves up and down about a fixed point. Up and down motion we can observe here. So pendulum of the wall clock oscillates to and fro. To and fro motion we can observe here. So based on the path taken by the bodies in motion, we classify motion of bodies as 3 types. So now we have observed different types of motion. No. Based on that, all kinds of motions, they are mainly divided into 3 types. So what are they? First one is translatory motion. Second one is rotatory motion. Third one is oscillatory motion. Okay. In this way, we have divided all kinds of motions into three types: translatory, rotatory, oscillatory. So now, let's see the first type. So translatory motion. So what is translatory motion? Let's try to understand. So look at the following pictures. Look at the following pictures. So the bus moved from point A to point B in certain interval of time. So in the beginning, the bus was at point A at 0 seconds, but after some time, suppose after 10 seconds, now the bus is at point B. Means during some time interval, the position of the bus changed from A to B. A to B. So now the question is, do all the parts of bus, like bus will be having what parts? Wheels, headlights, windows, etc. move along from point A to B? Or is the direction of motion of bus along straight line or curved line? That we have to tell. Now we are telling bus is moving from point A to point B. Now the question is, do all parts of bus are moving? When we say bus is moving, what we mean to say? Along with the bus, wheels are moving, body parts of bus are moving, windows are moving, the passengers also, they are moving. So all the parts which are inside the bus are directly related to the bus, all are moving together to point B. So then we can say, on the whole, bus is moving. So here our meaning of saying bus is moving means, what is our main meaning? So whatever, not only bus, all the body parts of bus, all the things which are directly related to the bus, the luggage on the bus, the steering of the bus, the wheels of the bus, the driver of the bus, conductor of the bus, everybody, they are moving from point A to point B. And one more thing, as the road is straight line, the bus also moving in straight line. So the bus also moving here in straight line. So okay. So this is an example of, 1 minute. So this is an example of translatory motion. Means a motion is said to be translatory. So when a body completely, along with all body parts, if it is moving completely, so then we can say that it is in translatory motion. Okay. So next, observing the path of motion. So they have given some examples in the following table. So we have to state about the paths of motion, whether the path is straight line or curved line, that we have to mention here. So soldiers marching in a parade. So during August 15 or Republic Day, you might have observed in television or in your school also, if they conduct parade or if they conduct march fast, means a group of children, they will do march fast and they will invite the principal to hoist the national flag. So during that march fast, so during particular time, what you will observe? So they will move in straight line. All the soldiers or all the class children who are participating in parade, they will move in straight line. So car is taking turn on this curved road. So it is not straight line, it is a curved line. So stone dropped from a height. Stone is dropped, straight line, not curved line. So running race along a road. Road means here we have to take it as straight road. So running race along a straight road, straight line. Running race along a track. So track means in the stadium, it will be in curved manner. You will be having numbers here. First track, second track, third track, like that. So it is curved, not straight line. So movement of bicycle on a road. Road means straight road, straight line, not curved line. So here the path may be straight line or path may be curved line. But whatever objects we have taken here, they move along with their body parts completely. Body parts completely. So here, so in all the above case of motion, do all the points of moving objects move in same direction of motion? If all the parts of moving body move in the direction of motion, then the motion is said to be translatory motion. So if the body parts also moving along with the body, so then it is said to be translatory motion. If the translatory motion moves along a straight line, it is rectilinear. Write down this spelling, children. Rectilinear, R-E-C-T-I-L-I-N-E-A-R, means rectilinear motion. So straight line motion. Straight line motion is called rectilinear motion. It is also one kind of translatory motion. So if a body in translatory motion moves along a curved path, then the motion is said to be curvilinear motion. Means they are moving in curved path. So translatory motion can be again subdivided into two types: rectilinear motion, curvilinear motion. But in both types of motion, along with the body, all the points on the body will move in the same direction as the direction of the body. So next. So let's identifying types of motion. So we notice that every day some motions which are rectilinear and curvilinear at a time may happen around us. So some examples are given below. We have to label them as: if it is rectilinear, we have to mention it as R. If it is curvilinear, we have to mention it as C. If it is showing both at a time, we have to mention RC. So seconds hand of a wall clock. Seconds hand move in a curved manner, C. Movement of train on tracks. Movement of train or on tracks. So sometimes it may be straight, sometimes it may be curve. Both, RC. Movement of tape in tape recorder. Movement of tape. So it's a tape recorder. In olden days, we used to make to use tape recorders for playing the songs. In tape recorder, the tape, it will move like this. Tape, it used to move like this. So this part is rectilinear, but this part is curvilinear, means both. Movement of needle in speedometer of a car. In the car, you will be having speedometer, 0 kilometer, 100 kilometer, like that speedometer. It will, based upon your speed, speedometer will change. It's curvilinear. Movement of bus, hill station road. If you go to Tirumala, or if you travel on any ghat road, hill station, so you have to go up into the hill. You have to go up into the hill. There, all total ghat road will be there. From the bottom of the hill up to the top of the hill, like Tirumala hill station, total ghat road will be there. There your motion is considered as curvilinear. Motion of coins on a carom board. So coins will move in a straight manner, rectilinear, R. Motion of ball in a pin board. On a pin board, so many balls will be there. We will hit the ball. It will touch another ball. It will go and fill in the hole. So it is also rectilinear. R. Motion of mango falling from tree. It is also falls in straight line. R. So in this way, we can identify the motions either into rectilinear or curvilinear or both. Okay, children. So that's all for today. So let's revise what we have learned. What we have learned today. So we have observed time and distance values exhibited by two different cards in two different tables, car A, car B. So by observing the table, we can tell that car A has covered equal time intervals, equal distance. So it is in uniform motion. Car B has covered unequal distances in equal intervals of time. So we can tell that it is in non-uniform motion. So we have identified some uniform and non-uniform motions. Types of motions. Some of them move along straight line. Some of them move in circular path. Some of them move up and down. Some of them move to and fro. Based on that, we divided motions into three types: translatory, rotatory, oscillatory. So translatory means along with the body, all the points on the body will move. All the body parts will move in the same direction. But translatory may happen in straight line or curved line. If it happens in straight line, we call it as rectilinear motion. If it happens in curved line, curved path, we call it as curvilinear motion. So we can divide our some motions which we observe in our daily life into rectilinear or curvilinear or both. So that's all for today, children. Thank you for watching our video. So please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates. So please share the video with your classmates so that if anybody missing the video, they can watch the video. Thank you. Have a good day.